Howdy. It's been a hot minute and some things aren't set up. Give me one moment. You'll be on screen shortly, if there is anybody around to chat. Goodness. I have not been talking in a hot minute. Hello, Phantom. Hello. I hope you survived your channel takeover a couple days back. Still no word on the missing suspect, but we'll get back to you when we have more information. DK Downby the hotel. Hello, Ryan. Hope you got your snacks and beverages of choice. It's gonna be a long day. But first, let me get everybody on screen. So first, gonna need to take this, copy, paste. That should be working. Couple buffers here and there. Hold on, I might be able to fix that. Boom, boom, boom. Lost over 5 million bells. Hey, for the bit, baby. Everything for the bit. Yeah, totally legit takeover of your channel. Hold on. Still working on this. Okay, first, we need to know what we're doing. Then we need the label that goes over the chat box. Then the chat box itself. And then the chat box UI. Boom. He's a professional streamer. Sort of. Wait, some things are... Oh, that's the shadowed version. My bad. Where is... Oh, I may have gotten rid of something by accident. That's fine. That works. Hello, everybody. It's been a week. It's been a couple days, hell. Totally professional despite the fact you said otherwise. I mean, a professional makes money, and technically I have made money doing this. If you count the merch sales, the throne gifts that Tony bankrolled, and Monster Hunter Rise that Tony also bankrolled. But regardless, lovely to have you both here. So I'm not talking to a wall. Alright. Moment of truth. How many people am I going to spoil if I talk about the Nintendo Switch? Let's start with that. Or Nintendo Switch 2. You'd be talking to the VOD watchers. That's true. That's true. Also, please let me know if the BGM is too loud. I think it's about where it needs to be. But I'm using a bit of a different setup at the moment. So yeah. Right? Show of hands. What is it? Which of the 3 people here has not seen the Nintendo Direct? You had no idea a Switch 2 Direct was a thing until you saw the waiting room? Okay, then I'll be enlightening you today, huh? Watch it so I won't be spoiled. Okay. Well, for everybody who has been under a rock, which would normally be me, but it isn't for once. Forgive the... Okay, there we go. Yeah. So the Nintendo 2 Direct, Switch 2 Direct happened, but we won't be going into that just yet. I know it's sitting right there in front of me, but I want to give a quick update on some cool stuff happening behind the scenes. But first, hello Phantom, hello Ryan, and hello to any VOD watchers or lurkers out there. This is Ricky T. Bones coming at you from the music room of Hotel Calaveras, of which he is proprietor and defender as Detective Ricky T. Bones. One of these days I'll have a solid intro. But for today, I'm just taking it easy. Oh boy. So, let me spill the beans first on why this week has been so hectic. Who was it playing the piano again? Joe the Ghost. Good old Joe. You can't see him, you can't see the keys moving, but he's working back there. For sure. Now. So, let's have a quick update on Ricky T. Bones, or the skeleton behind the skeleton, if you will. Life is okay-ish for somebody who is unemployed as long as I've been. No trouble at home, no trouble abroad, no trouble as far as I know health-wise for a dead guy. But I did have a minor issue over the weekend. This is weird for somebody who has no stomach to explain, but to immersion break you for a second here. Apparently, and this is only a guess at this point, I caught a stomach bug over the weekend. That was my unexplained indigestion. And, yeah. Yeah, and I'm still reeling from its effects. I'm still a little bit weak. Sitting down at my computer sometimes isn't great, but it was worse. It was a lot worse when it first started around like Saturday-ish, Friday. And it's almost been a week. Hey, I am. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm drinking lots of fluids. I'm taking good care of myself. That's why a lot of stuff got shifted around, is because I didn't feel like sitting at my desk, to put it plainly. Glad you're feeling a bit better. Me too, Phantom. Me too. Me too, buddy. But I've had a lot of streams. I've had a lot of cool news to watch because I've been on a wacky sleep schedule thanks to my stomach. I actually got to catch the Nintendo Direct live. Hey, yo, is that a Switch 2? God, I wish it were. But no, it's the bog standard. It's my Switch. And I will ride this thing down until it dies. But yeah, welcome on in, Sky. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Just giving a quick update on your old boy Bones. Apparently I caught a stomach bug over the weekend. Even though I streamed Dark Souls, I was just like, you know what? If there's one thing I can fight an upset stomach over, it's Dark Souls. I am willing to endure that just for Dark Souls. But it's been rough. It's been rough. The power of souls. Yeah. But aside from that stomach bug giving me a right old scare and forcing me to stay bedridden for quite a bit, I'm doing okay. Enjoyed it off stream? Absolutely. Actually, wait, Dark Souls? No. No, I streamed it Monday. It was Dark Souls some Mondays, remember. Inside's been not so good lately. Yeah, okay, so of course, being the good internet fellow I am, I diagnose everything by WebMD. No, I double-checked every source, did not take any... I took everything with a grain of salt, but... People have been saying that the norovirus is going around, which is a type of stomach bug. I highly doubt I had it. I think I just either poisoned myself by accident with an undercooked oven pie, or oven pizza, I should say. Or I just happened to be one of the unlucky 1 in a million to catch a stomach bug from somebody's mishandling of my fast food. Good evening, Flash. Good evening. Welcome on in. Oven pizza pie. Exactamundo. But yeah, that has been my trial behind the scenes. Aside from that, here's some good news. And this is kind of something I want your input on before we get into the gushing about how the GameCube intro appeared on a stream recently. I managed to get... Oh, by the way, I should double check. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that real soon. I need to double check something though. In case anybody didn't see it, I finally posted my first clip in for frickin' ever, and it racked up in 6 days almost 100 views. We're one short. Good God. A simple minute of Ricky suffering and doing a little bit of voice acting went so far. Yeah, that was without warning or fanfare, because I really don't know how to advertise those, but it was a fun little edit. I have a more fun edit. Well, it's basically done, but I wanted everybody's opinion on it before we get too lost in tangents. Pardon. I have good news. So, I've been talking about how I wanted to do a supercut of the Shovel Knight streams from like 3 eras of Ricky, including Cuppo Joe, and I took all of last night while I was finally not sick and cobbled it together. So it's every Knight battle, minus duplicates like Black Knight twice and 3 times, and no endgame battles to avoid spoilers. Well, heavy spoilers. You know, when I started the Shovel Knight series, I started it and went full tilt into the voice acting. And so it's an evolution of being an actor, of radio play efforts and such. And the main thing I want to ask, while it is done now, and it is 2 hours in length, is it okay if I just, like, this is probably a me thing I should decide later, but should I just cobble together a thumbnail with existing assets, or should I ask Tony once Tony becomes available to maybe make some really cool art for it? Because I was thinking like maybe I should upload it before we finish off what is it, Spectre of Torment, but I don't know, I feel like it's more of a finality kind of deal. I feel like next stream we'll probably finish Spectre of Torment if we are not tormented to death. But should I just upload it tomorrow or wait until there's more razzmatazz on it? Because it's done. It's basically done. It's a very, very minimalistic edit of everything. I don't know. I'm thinking on it, but I'd like a little bit of input. Reusing existing assets works fine. Maybe some reference to past thumbnails. That could be an interesting idea. Yeah, but it is mostly the content. It's mostly the clips itself that are important. So I figure like I shouldn't overthink the thumbnail. I'll concept some stuff, and maybe if you don't see it up tomorrow, I probably postpone it because I want to do something more cooler. More cooler, he says. Cooler with it. But yeah, thanks for the input, Ryan. Especially you. You're the one who joined me on that journey first day. Day 1. So it's a little bit of a momentous occasion between you and I. Alright. I think we're good on Ricky related stuff. I'm doing better. The supercut is done. There'll be more clips on the way. Music. The new Ricky BGM is still being worked on. Concept-wise, I think I've got it down. I just need to flesh it out a bit more, and then I can start doing master recordings, and then I can mix it. More shorts in the future? I don't... Yeah, January 18th, yeah. It's been a hot minute. I don't think so. Like, I can appreciate the shorts when they're done okay-ish. But it's just not my demographic. Like, I know the people who watch the shorts, half of them go through desktop. Actually, no, more like a quarter of them go through them on desktop. Ooh, I should remove that track. That is our ending theme. Okay. There we go. And the other 75% are on their phone doom scrolling. And I'm sure it'd be nice exposure, although that has been proven otherwise by Sky's information he's given me. It's not a guarantee, obviously, but I think the way I do things, because of my, like, especially my overlay, right? I think it is better to just do normal clips. Like, at least with normal clips, you've got a 50-50 shot of going over well on desktop, on mobile, on what is it? Hell, Nintendo Switch, TV, etc. 16 by 9 is just my preference. I think you can get really creative with short style stuff. I think when you do stuff intended for the shorts format, it works best. But I've seen people try to live stream through the shorts feature, and it doesn't work for me. It really does not work for me. So, it's a personal disdain for shorts. I think like music videos I could see promoting, which I have no music videos whatsoever at the moment, or any plans for that. But stream highlights, I get why it works. I get why Twitch tries to do it. I get why YouTube tries to do it. But there's only so many hours in a day, and I am both a musician, a thumbnail creator, and a live streamer. I am all three of those. Making stuff specifically for shorts doesn't seem up my alley. But they are fun. They are fun. I'll admit, they got their place, but regardless. A sleuth, a songbird, a streamer. That is all three describing Ricky T. Bones. Yep. So, eventually, by the way, oh yes, take a sip or pour one out for the karaoke VODs. It's a sad reality, but it is what it is. There will be another karaoke soon once, you know, my spectral stomach stops jumping all over the place and I can start practicing again. It's definitely going to be rock. I'm not sure which songs will make it in, but I have a handy list that I've been scrounging off other karaoke streams I've been watching, actually. Whenever anymore. I know, and it's gonna have to be a special occasion, which at least now it's earlier in the day, not at like ungodly hours on a weekend or something. So now at least when I do it unarchived, it's more accessible. But it is a shame. It is a shame that those will never be found again. A lot of VTubers get their stuff re-uploaded to separate channels. But seeing as I'm a small one, I control what stays and what goes. So, yeah, it's all right. Exactly. Better to be safe than sorry, especially with some of those other ones. Anything Disney related gets you bonked in the head hard. And that was the Halloween karaoke's fate. So, you know, it's better safe than sorry. All right. Time for the main event, then. We've jabbered on about me long enough. Let's talk about Harder Than Think Shovel Blade. Basically, yes. Let's talk about the Switch, too. Well, for starters, I was absolutely giddy as a schoolboy watching it. Like, what was it? The big shebang of, like, the game show... Was it Video Game Awards? That didn't get me hyped at all back when it happened. But the Nintendo Direct, man. It was special. It was magical. It was like you see all of these bigger companies like Bethesda and Ubisoft trying to sell you their high definition game that's coming to next gen consoles and will be DLSS ready. And then here is Nintendo saying, yo, we're pushing the envelope on what it means to be a gamer. Here is all these AAA games that you can now play on the move. It was the biggest flex I have ever seen for a gaming, like, giant, if I'm being honest. But it was something else, man. Let's break this down. Okay, for anybody who didn't see it, there was a bunch of stuff announced. In a nutshell, the Switch 2 is now 1080p while it's handheld, which means it's a big old screen. It's got magnetic sealed controllers which don't let go easily. It's got a lot of new gimmicks. it's got a lot of new gimmicks. Mainly, you can now play mouse and controller. That feels really weird saying it out loud now. Like, you have a Joy-Con in one hand to move, and then a mouse edge Joy-Con on a table. It's honestly, there was a Nintendo Treehouse Direct or Nintendo Treehouse special today, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that, but it is wild. It didn't really work that well during Metroid Prime 4, but I respect the effort. Phone's going to see you when I see you, Ryan. But I'll keep yapping regardless. If you miss anything, the VOD will be up. Okay. There was a lot to unpack. And, you know, as per usual, when you're a pioneer, you start doing gimmicky stuff and hoping it sticks. Case in point, 2 major problematic features. Number 1, the game chat. Essentially, they made a Discord-ish app for Nintendo-specific products, and it runs okay-ish. Then they said, oh, by the way, you can now get a webcam. That's cool. Now we can play Kinect games on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna get that integration modded into their game anytime soon. But it's a lot of good stuff. When you just use Discord, yeah, essentially, it's like, it's purely built for, like, it's built for people who don't have laptops they can just bring to their living room. Like, it is for the Madden nerds, it is for the casual Mario Kart players, it is for people who miss Xbox Live experience. That's basically it. But with video call, which is weird. I don't know. I mean, I think Nintendo's fair in pivoting towards playing with friends, because they really are like the original family and friends system. Since like day one, you had buddies come over for Smash, you had buddies who played Mario Kart Online with you, and now they're just trying to make it more sociable, more, what's the word I would put? Connected. So I think it's a fair strike. How do I feel about it though? Like, it's a massive upgrade. Let's just say that out the gate. It's a massive upgrade technology-wise. It has 256 gigabytes of storage. It has processing speed that's faster. It has a beautiful looking big screen in handheld mode. You are basically holding like those old laptops where they just played DVDs and nothing else. And shit runs at 60 FPS. Like heavy stuff like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Metroid Prime 4 is going to run at 60 FPS. It's like, welcome Nintendo, you finally made it to the present day, and now you're getting outmoded by the Series X and Series S. But alas, there was one major downside to it, and this is going to tie into something I saw today, actually. The price tag. Nintendo Switch 2 is more expensive to create, and so unfortunately that means the price tag had to come up, still undercutting all the it's yeah, I know, me too. I mean, I never had a budget to begin with for this kind of stuff, but me too. Not enough. Even if I had a job today, I would not have enough until next month, maybe even 2 months from now. It is $450 standard. $450. But that still undercuts, in the grand scheme of things, it still undercuts the modern consoles, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, your local Best Buy trying to hawk off a really high-end PC on you. It's still the budget option, and that's not what people are seeing, because I tuned into the Nintendo Treehouse today as it was still going on, like the last 30 minutes, and I saw people not happy about the prices. They were spamming drop the price, and some other derogatory nonsense in that chat. Whew. Yeah, welcome to the present day, Nintendo. Now you charge what everybody else charges, and, you know, we're not happy because we were used to $50 for a game. Now it's 80. Mario Kart World for $80, $90 for physical. Yeah, the chat for like public streams like that, big industry public streams, are always cancerous. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. It's true. But I think there were two great things about this. One, the Nintendo Switch has even more the Nintendo Switch 2 has even more staying power now, because whoa, wait, when did this get thrown in? Oops. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I know why. Excuse me, let me clear out my playlist because it duplicated stuff. That was a chill jam, but that's not what we're supposed to be listening to. There we go. I was kind of wondering about that. But yeah. Oh, for anybody who doesn't know, I play all my music through OBS and OBS playlists. If you have a decent setup and you can play desktop audio, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, the price thing is not okay to me, because I live in an almost we're living in a pre-recession America, but I think it's just the way of the road, man. We were used to it, sure. We were used to being able to afford a Nintendo Switch. It was a budget option. It still is. And I think the only sticking point for me is that we have to pay for upgrades. But it makes sense. It makes sense because it's a brand new console with heavy duty hardware. But it just feels like nickel and diming on the outside. I will say though, they are evil. They are evil, pure evil, and know their fanbase too well for locking the GameCube of all things behind the Switch 2. I own the Mario All-Stars thing, and I need it. I know. I literally screamed at the top of my lungs when they were like, and now let us show you this. Wait, you talked about the membership. Does that mean? I screamed. I screamed like everybody else you see on the internet. And I never even owned a GameCube. I was just happy. I was especially happy. Mario Party 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, that's true. Those were special titles. But I was still have my silver cube. Ooh, ballin'. I need to get me a GameCube at some point because I want to be able to play the I want to be able to have the Game Boy Advance peripheral, because I got a lot of Game Boy Advance games that aren't on the NSO subscription. But it's so good. It's so good to have the GameCube back. And I know Michael is gonna be like, yeah, I need to take out a new loan because of Double Dash coming. Ricky, stop me! A lot of people have a lot of good memories with that console. I'm so happy. But like F-Zero GX, a game I only saw on old YouTube. Mario Party, Super Mario Sunshine's gonna be playable at some point. Wind Waker, a enhanced version of Wind Waker. That's one on the bucket list for me. And just Story mode was difficult. Oh, I have some idea about it. We're going to be playing F-Zero GP Legends on this channel at some point. They had you raise God at the end. Hey, I like that idea. He was excited about Gales of Darkness and Coliseum. Yes, Pokemon Coliseum XD, right? I think. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about with this, but damn. Damn, just looking at that thing hurt my wallet in the Kokoro. Oh, yeah, that's one lost art in gaming, is that there is no story-based racers, I guess you could say. There's no arcade racers anymore where you like every bit of progression is behind you getting good. I want to play Ridge Racer when I get the chance. I want to play GP Legends. That's a Game Boy Advance game. Amazing stuff, by the way. And it's so weird to have everything be locked behind. You better know how to race, buddy. Otherwise, you don't get to see more of the game. But, oh man. Good memories with racing games back in the day. And they come back. Now more kids can experience the best of the GameCube. The best of Cheeto-covered discs. Cheeto dust-covered discs. Oh, man. I'm kind of just happy they have an official, like, GameCube controller now. Or when it releases, anyway. Also, that reminds me, racing games. What does everybody think about Forza Horizon Kart World? I don't know how I feel about the open world nature of Mario Kart World, but I do admire the direction. I do admire the direction of making it kind of America-centric, like Route 88, going from the west coast to east. It's very much like, and I've never seen this movie, it's a very inspired by the Cannonball Run in a way. Just being able to hodgepodge a bunch of carts together and go racing from town to town. Not a big fan of open world stuff. It'll give you a chance. Yeah, you definitely want to look at the Nintendo Treehouse later, Phantom. They actually did a full GP, a full Grand Prix of Mario Kart World, and it actually looked really cool. And, oh my god, there was a big quality of life thing they put in. You no longer have to hold a button to keep shit behind you. It's so good. I'm so happy they finally did something about that. It sucks to be holding like a claw grip every MK8 stream. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, but Nintendo Switch 2 games just look like quality, man. And Duskblood, Elden Ring, they really, like, said, hey, we're a game company too, and we have the games that everybody else has now. What of it? He holds up his hands thinking people can see him do that. It's crazy. It's like, how do I put this? It's like Nintendo developed this console while in talks with developers to say, okay, so we want to make a new game console. We realized it sucked to make games for the old console. What would you like this new console to have? And we can have it for you by Christmas. Granted, it's not Christmas time, but damn does it feel like it. And it just works. It just works. That's what I feel like they did. They just said to companies, okay, you need to tell us what's the bare minimum to make this shit run on our console. And we will try to deliver it. But it was just so good. The only detractor is that Nintendo joins the modern era of gaming where everything does have to cost more because development takes a lot more. It takes a lot more studios. It takes a lot more software. It takes a lot more of everything. And while that sucks, because not everybody is doing well economically at the moment, it makes sense. It makes sense. You gotta, if you want to step into the big league, you gotta bring big pockets now. I just think it sucks that we live in a world now where a Nintendo Switch and 7 games is gonna put you back $1,000. If you buy like everything not on sale, which is 80% of the time with Nintendo Switch games. So cheap. Weirdly enough, the bargain bin now is Steam and GOG. PC gaming is officially the cheapest market out there because of the indie scene. If you buy a console, you are investing in a lifestyle. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But what can I do? I'm a broke bones anyway, so I can't even afford a haircut at this point. Not like I need it. But man, I think it's just crazy. Like Street Fighter 6 of all things is going to be on the Switch. Street Fighter 6 does not run on this PC. It barely does. And to think that you can now fight on the go. Oh my god, that's right. There was a lot of shit going around fighting game Twitter and Blue Sky. There was one image shared everywhere, and it was with the caption, "Alright, so you want to play Street Fighter 6. Let me point you to this thing in the back of your Switch 2. It's an Ethernet port. Use it." Because they hate Wi-Fi warriors in the FGC community. What's going on? I'm back. Welcome back, Ryan. We're gushing about the Nintendo Switch stuff now. Switch 2 stuff. All you missed was thoughts on its development, the crazy features, the price that hurts a lot, the fact that they locked the GameCube behind it. It's a smart move. It's a dick move. That's a cat screaming outside, sorry. But it's a smart move. They know their people too well. It's evil, but damn, we will pay the price. We will pay the price eventually after we get approved for a credit card. It's business. Exactly. It makes sense. It makes sense in the grand scheme of things. And there's still the budget option. There's still the cheapest console out there, save for like Uncle Bob's PC. You know, I wonder how Franky reacted when he saw F-Zero GX finally back on the GameCube's lineup. If they announced a new F-Zero unlocked, it'd be pure evil. It would be logical, if I'm gonna be honest. The new Mario Kart World is locked onto the Switch too. He'll save for like 6 months. Bagman. I don't know what's up with the Bagman. He is back home though. That reminds me. I need to double check something. Give me a moment. Okay. I will do that later after stream, but I need to double check with some people about a collab potentially happening soon. Finally got some details on scheduling, but that's nothing to worry about at the moment. Which reminds me, next week there will be no schedule because everything is already out for everybody to see. There might be one on social media, but there's not going to be one on the channel because things have just been moved around and my God, Franky, speak of the devil and he appears. Hey, buddy. Oh, Mario and Ricky. Yes, it is. Franky, did you watch the Nintendo Direct, or were you busy, or were you on the plane when it happened? Or train, whatever your mode of transportation is. Are you kidding? I watched it so good. I know, right? Did you? Or okay. On a scale, on the Richter scale, how loud do you, how well did you register when the GameCube announcement popped up? And then how loud did you get when F-Zero GX popped up? I reckon at least a 5 on the magnitude. You almost... Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. It was 8 a.m. and I had somebody sleeping behind me. So I wept. Oh, blessed be. Blessed be Miyamoto. We have a believer. I know, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. All the F-Zero games are no longer lost media. It's amazing. It's a great day to be alive in this economy. Man. I pogged when I saw it. Yeah. Welcome in, Frankie. We were just knee-deep in the Nintendo discussion. Oh, God. It's smart. It's intelligent. I find it weird. Okay, okay. We've done enough gushing about it. Let's talk about the gripes real quick. I think I broke something. I hope it was a dish and not a disc. But let's talk about the not so great stuff. Let's be real. Paying a little extra for something even better is okay-ish. If that price is over 15, I call bullshit. But they require you to upgrade Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild for the Switch 2 Enhanced Edition of your favorite games. Funny enough, it's the single player games. Yeah, we see you, Nintendo. Yeah. It's the single player games where people have probably already beaten them, which kind of is a moot point, but there's also Jamboree. There's also going to be Metroid Prime is coming on to Switch Normal and Switch 2, which is awesome. Thank God. Prime Remastered we will be playing at some point when I finally finish one of these series. Tony's still out, so probably not Phoenix Wright anytime soon. Maybe I could sneak in Prime Remastered. You got like 3 finales ready. I know. We have Shovel Knight. We have Dead Rising Overtime Mode. That's probably going to take 2 more streams. My God. And Dark Souls is never going to end this year. I'm guessing. It's just going to be like Dead Rising, Shovel Knight, and then one-shots, including Dark Souls. But, so, paying a little extra for enhanced editions, not fun. The gimmicks, the live chat feature is not good. It's okay, but I feel like I'm watching the Digimon movie all over again, where it's like 5 FPS webcam. Hey, it gave the voice actors a break at least. But at least they were honest about that. That's very true. Yeah, they didn't replace it with like 60 FPS footage superimposed on it and then just be like, "Jabated on at GameStop, it is 5 FPS." They were very honest with that, yes. They weren't honest about the price, but they were at least honest about that. That's the good news. The webcam, the live chat, the friends things, it's all okay. It's mid, I would reckon. It's just optional stuff. But what's it? What was I gonna talk about? The mouse feature is gimmicky. They showed, what is it, dash and ball? That didn't work. That was at best conceptually interesting, but there was, well, for one, it needed Tim Kitzrow. As I was watching them play it at the Treehouse today, I was like, I really wish Tim Kitzrow were like being zooms up and it's good. it just didn't hit right. It was very dismal, and the scenario was like dark and apocalyptic. It really doesn't make sense. But hey, I admire being like giving some representation for the wheelbound folk. It's a really cool concept. It's a really cool concept. But for anybody who doesn't know, it's wheelchair basketball. Who didn't see the direct? It's really cool. And honestly, it's actually mechanically sound. They even give you extra points, not a lot, but just enough to say, okay, we put a little sauce on this dunk. Match us. It gives 0.2 for a airborne dunk, and it's just enough to break ties. That is such a great way to reward style. Such a great way to reward style. Like they were legitimately saying on stream, okay, we don't need a shot, we need a shot and a dunk. We need to put the sauce on it. We need to put the sauce on that chorizo. Pizza without the crust, something like that. But I think the biggest gripe I have with the Nintendo Switch is, one, I hear the battery life is going to be zilch because of how feature-rich it is, which is, As somebody who has small hands and weak arms, I already can't lift the Switch normally for extended periods of time. I actually tried to play Monster Hunter Rise for like a solid 30 minutes in my bed as I was suffering, and boy, were my arms dead afterwards. I didn't even want to lift my phone. Only ever play it docked. Yeah. I couldn't, because I couldn't sit at my desk, but regardless. I know, Frankie. Hey, good news, by the way, Bagman. I don't know if you'll ever have the time, but I am now eligible for high rank quests in Monster Hunter World. I finished the story mode finally, off stream. So Zora Magdaros is diverted, the world is saved, and now there is just a bunch of high rank hunts available for me to play around with the buddies. What monsters have you met in high rank? Only the juiced up Puke. That's it. I kind of realized, oh, this is taking an hour to kill it. This is taking half an hour to kill it. Maybe high rank is best with friends. So I barely just cracked into high rank hunts. Currently trying to figure out what the hell, what Rathalos is out there that is leaving unrecognizable marks. And yeah, I'm just getting started, amigo. I am hunter rank like 13 at best. But I did find the skull mask that's available in games, so I am lore accurate finally. Whew, yeah. But hey, maybe if we ever have time, UI and Michael, hell, maybe even Twyla. That's y'all's name, not mine. I don't know. Maybe you could D-rank some equipment and we could have an okay, relaxing hunt together. I have no idea. I have no idea how Monster Hunter works exactly, but I do understand the game all... Oh my god, wait, hold on. I just realized I have something to show you, Frankie. And I'm gonna put this shame on screen for everybody to see. Give me a second. If I can find it. So, if anybody's heard of Fashion Souls, it is basically where you disregard everything about the game's, like, meta, and you go with what looks badass. And Monster Hunter also has that same dilemma. She's now as addicted to Mon Hunt as I am, so I bet she'd be down. Excellent. But I have a wonderful set of screenshots to share because I was geeking out about it on stream. Where is it? Mutant Football League, Monster Hunter World. That is Steam apps. Damn it, where is... Oh, I don't have it. Okay. Long story short, I used the I found out about the Great Gyros armor, Franky. And I immediately hunted it all down and made a I made an edgelord build with twin blades. Those delicate diamond twin blades you see that you can get in the shop. I have a screenshot of it somewhere. I don't know if I actually saved it properly. Let me see. Let me check. Okay, now we're in Tangent World USA. Found YT thumbnails. Nope. Okay. Man, I don't know where I would find it. I can open up Steam real quick. Anyway, hopefully the download doesn't start. Yeah, okay. Moving back onto the Switch and probably wrapping up on it at this point. Holy cow, we got a lot of backlash for the price, but damn, is it worth it? Damn, is it a good pain in the wallet? I think Nintendo has basically proven it is the king of family systems. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I'm now a Chargeblade Chad. Yo, how's it hanging, Mr. Bones? Good evening, Prickly Pancake. Good evening. Let me see here. Chargeblade, brother. Yeah, essentially I found it, thank goodness. Okay, where do I want to put this? I want to put this in... yeah, basically, I fell in love with the Chargeblade's, like, unique double style, and I realized, wait a minute, okay. Looking at the mechanics here, and not getting put off by the fact that it's called the Spreadsheet Blade, it is a rather straightforward flow, and the way I play it, I basically just play Sword and Shield, but absolutely juice to Kingdom Come. And I specifically play with the Rathian Charge Blade, so I can have that thorny Sword and Shield. It's great. It's great. Finish solo leveling. Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I do have some anime updates to give, don't I? Okay, Monster Hunter World. And I want this one. Okay, I've got the screenshot, I just need to load it into OBS. Alright, this is probably gonna take up a lot of the screen, so jump scare warning. Come on, hun. Okay, don't do the wrong thing, Ricky, otherwise it's OPSEC and goodbye. I had too much fun. Every game, I stand by this. I stand by this. Every game needs a photo mode, and here's why. That is why your game needs photo mode. Ignore the fact that the skybox is absolute garbage because of my crap PC not being able to run anything. It's so edgy. And the build kind of works, not gonna lie. Especially in Rotten Vale. It's glorious. Yeah. Yeah. It's so fun to use, but I prefer, like, my go-to weapons at the moment are the Greatsword when I want it to die fast, the Charge Blade when I feel like I can't hit worth shit with a Greatsword, and the heavy bowgun when it needs to come down to my level. I soloed Rathalos. I soloed Rathalos with a heavy bowgun. It's the wimp's way out, I'll admit. I am dishonorable for doing so, but Daka goes brrrr. I love Wyvern Heart. I stand by my choice. Have I tried the gun lance? Yeah, that was my starting pick, actually. I admire it. I like it. I like how it goes boom, crack sound of my heartbeat, but it's so I hate thrusting weapons for some reason. I cannot fathom thrusting weapons in games. But it is really a really fun firecracker. But I don't gel with the lance mentality with it. I think it's good though. I think it's definitely a fun little piece of equipment, and the fact that it looks like a gigantic ass revolver is really great. Yeah. On that we can agree. Absolutely. Okay. So, yeah. Aside from the Monster Hunter tangent, let's just wrap up the Nintendo Switch talk. I think the backlash is understandable, given that we've had it good for so long. But it's just the way the world is at this point. Shit's getting expensive and games are getting better and better. And you need money to pay for those people, those very, very talented people to work on your stuff. So, the fact that it's now, what, $80? That's not because of Nintendo. That's just because of how expensive games are getting to make. But thankfully, Nintendo has a healthy indie scene. Stuff does go on sale every once in a while. I think the Nintendo Switch 2, just like my Nintendo Switch here, with the Nintendo Online subscription, you've already got a bunch of games. And they run even better on the Switch 2. And there is a lot of stuff that's backwards compatible, so your library kind of swaps over seamlessly. Kinda. I wouldn't say perfectly, but definitely, it's definitely an upgrade. Is it an optional upgrade? No. Not with the GameCube right friggin' there. But, damn. It's a strong showing. As long as the games are good, it'll be worth it. Well, ain't that a double-edged sword? Yeah, but you're not wrong. The only thing I think it did not have on the lineup, like the starting lineup, was Monster Hunter Wilds, but that's completely understandable. 3090s are melting every day with that game out. Only been an hour of yapping. Interesting. Man. So I like how they made it that with certain games, if one person has it, oh, that's right, yeah, like 51 Clubhouse games. Thought we spent longer. I thought I had more to talk about with the Switch, honestly, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just chatting with y'all about other stuff that's been happening behind the scenes. But yeah, that is one other thing I completely forgot about. Yeah, they brought back the shared experience. Can't even count to an hour. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Typically, like, I've been noticing, specifically because of my recent game choices, I have no mental capacity to talk about anything else other than what's going on. Dark Souls demands your attention. Dead Rising demands most of your attention. Shovel Knight, if you blink, you die. The games I've been choosing have not been conducive to conversations recently. And that's kind of why we need this stream today. Why I need this stream today. So it's nice to be able to chat with y'all again. Especially my morgue buddies. Is there anybody else I need to... No, I guess not. Hey, seeing as you're both here, I can actually ask you in person. So I talked with our mutual friend Michael, whom we're trying to organize Vermintide 2 with. He says he is free next Wednesday. Damn it, Franky. It's alright. That base has only been my family for 20 generations. It's okay. So what you think? You think we can all manage to get together on that day? I should have it clear. I can fix it, I swear. In your family for 20 generations. Yeah, that's basically the beginning of time. Wednesday, probably like Ricky Standard Time. So 5 p.m. both y'all's times at the Mo. Pretty sure that might work, but I don't know. So around when Bagman first existed. Possibly. Okay. Okay. I'll double check the details with y'all through DMs, but if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we can just wait until next week. Maybe it'll be more ideal for everybody. I know you're dealing with some major changes in your life, Bagman, and I hope things are going smoothly for you. But that's that's your deal. I won't talk about what's going on. The cool stuff happening in your life on my stream. That's kind of weird to do. Anyway, it's going smoothly as you can hope. Understood. Good luck, Franky. What was I gonna say? Right. Speaking of Prickly Pancakes finishing solo leveling, I finally got around to finishing a bunch of TV series while I was out of the internet and out on my back. Namely, when I was in the blackout because of my internet issues, I finally finished Peaky Blinders. Beautiful show. You've got to be able to stomach quite a bit to watch it, but beautiful show. I finished part 1 of JoJo finally. Beautiful. Exquisite. Over the top. Would recommend if you're looking for a good time, and bloody good time, I should say. Goodness. Speedwagon is my instant favorite. But I audibly laughed when I heard Master Ton Petty. And now I'm barely just starting part 2. It's a good time, man. It's a good time. The English dub is great. The writing is stupid. There's a lot of references to popular culture, medieval times in the first part. Jonathan Joestar, he is quite the fellow. So I'm just barely meeting part 2 JoJo. And I don't remember when I did this. It's so dumb. JoJo deserves the hype. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not doing a watch along of it, because like I just want to absorb all there is. I don't know how some people can, like, Tony mentioned this, like there are series where she just puts it on in the background, and JoJo was apparently one of them. Or maybe that was like just Tony's recommendation to me, just like put it on in the background, it's fine. I'm like, I'm not watching a radio. I'm not listening to a radio play, man. I know that like everybody narrates everything like, oh my God, Lord Dio has finally done it. Joestar is down. What will he ever do? But it's so good. It's so good. The color swaps during dark scenes. It's a treat on the eyes, the ears. The music is badass. The intro is badass. The ending of part 1 was godlike. I really like the series, and it's like it's my go-to anime when I don't want to think about when I want to just watch something with a meal. Weirdly enough, I could stand JoJo with a pizza. That and Fruits Basket. No, like, what are y'all on about? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, available on local streaming sites, notably Hulu. It's an anime that, if I recall correctly, is written on the seat of their pants. Like, they fly by the seat of their pants with that series. They just make it up as they go along. Watching part 4 with my sister right now. Damn. Okay. It's a good series. Bloody. I will warn you. It is very bloody. Very, very raw. But a good damn series. And then, I think very recently, I kind of had a mental breakdown watching American Psycho. I knew it from the memes. I knew it was dark. I didn't think it was that dark. Boy howdy. That's all I'll say about it. If view it at your own discretion, but it's gonna make you think, make you go to dark places in your head. I had to remind myself, I am okay. I am not a psycho. I know I have worn a mask at work, but I'm not a psycho. And I had to like look up the meaning behind the ending and everything. It's definitely worth a watch if you're really into yes, really. You'd understand if you've ever seen the movie, but it's satire on yuppies, which is young up and coming businessmen. But the message behind it of, what's the word I'm looking for? First off, wanting to be anywhere but where you are is a major theme throughout the movie. And I won't get into details why, because you should definitely watch it. But the second thing is being able to put on a mask to seem normal to everybody else. And then being able to take it off the second you get home. That's a learned skill in customer service. That's an actual thing I'm able to do. Because, you know, you get fired if you're not professional at work. If I was like this, if I was like a skeleton, you know, at my desk, or like talking to customers, like, they'd be scared running, obviously. But like, I will actually give you an anecdote on this. So one time, and this is kind of a big deal why I don't like wearing suits as much these days. It depends on where the skeleton's desk is. True. But here's a funny anecdote from my suit salesman days. Let me take a sip. And this is why I told you, wearing fashion is an illusion. It is illusion magic. When I was working at that suit sales store, oh yes, posture check. If you're working on art, quit shrimping. If you're not working on art, quit shrimping. And if you are a shrimp, sorry to offended you. I wore plenty of outfits based on what was clean during the week. If I really wanted to rack up sales, I would put together a carefully crafted look. Like one... Council of Shrimp will remember this. But I put together one time a carefully crafted tan double-breasted suit with black tie, a black pocket square, black shoes. Back in life, I had black hair, so it was a beautiful ensemble. Everybody kept complimenting me on it. And I got a lot of customers. I got a lot of people coming up and saying, hey, could you help me out here? And it's because I looked the part. It's because I looked like I knew what I was doing. On my last day at work, I said, fuck it. Modern day killers really must have fun, sorry. And put together an outlandish ensemble. I wore a blue pinstripe suit. people who have seen Cup of Joe have seen this look. It was a blue pinstripe suit, single-breasted, which means it's just the standard 2-button, a black shirt, a white tie, a flower. Of course, I had a flower with everything I wore. Like you see on PNG Ricky, I had a flower on everything I wore. A white pocket square, a black shirt with a white necktie, and Vans. Vans white top. High tops, black and white. And under my boutonniere, it was, hey, buddy! Welcome on in, Raymond. It was a banger fit. I've actually got a photo of it somewhere. And the only person I impressed that day was behind the cash register. One of my coworkers looked over and said, nice. Reminded me of Robbie Rotten. Exactamundo, yes. And I got 0 customers that day. I got 0 people to trust the way I looked. They would like, I would say, hey, do you need anything? Do you need help with anything? And they said, oh, no, we're just looking around. And then they would immediately go to one of the other salesmen and start talking to him. Appearances do matter a lot, but the funny thing is, my expertise was no different no matter what I wore. I was still there to help you. It was just a matter of whether you trusted me with it. So, wearing outfits like that is a definitive, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I said, it's illusion magic. You can shape people's perception of you based on what you wear. And it's an ugly truth that I don't really like to admit. Or nobody likes to admit. You don't judge a book by its cover, true. But the cover should represent what's inside. Exactly. Yes, that is the correct train of thought when it comes to designing outfits for yourself. And, you know, that basically means you should be expressing yourself with how you design your outfits. Like these days, when I'm not on stream, obviously, I like to be comfy. I like to wear jeans, albeit for this body of mine, I have to wear hip-high jeans. And, you know, nice band t-shirt or video game t-shirt with a loose fitting jacket. It's a nice... I always wear comfy when I'm going out. And at home, I just wear whatever. But at my job, I had to be very precise about whom I did and did not offend with my outfit for the day. But yeah. Man, what was the point of... Oh, yeah. Yeah. What was the point of that story again? I forgot. Oh, yeah, American Psycho. That's right. We were talking about American Psycho. So, yes. The message in American Psycho mirrored too closely to my real life experience of having to keep a customer service mask in a pickled jar at all times and use it 4 times a week. That's what freaked me out about American Psycho, is that it was way too close to the customer service experience. In a pickled jar. Yeah, to keep it fresh. It's so true, the movie. Yeah, I know. It's creepy. Yeah. Never heard that saying before. What is it? In a jar that she keeps by the door. Yeah, no. It's Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. But yeah, that's mostly been what's up with me. As for... Oh, that reminds me. I mean, nobody else is a deadbeat except me around here as far as I know. Probably Franky, because he's a big Holo fan, but... there was a really cool... There's a lot of good stuff coming out for Calliope Mori's birthday. And that is tomorrow, by the way, 4/4. I will be unreachable around 10 p.m. Central because I will be attending the boss's birthday party. Tonight is going to be the birthday Totsumachi, aka Collins, which I'm looking forward to. And if you're a deadbeat, I hope to see you there as well. But there was a really wonderful let me see if I can go find it really quick. I'm not going to show it on stream because it's on Blue Sky, but there was a wonderful comic put out by Noah Q, a artist who works for Calliope now, and it was a beautiful little multi-panel story about how our favorite Grim Reaper was the reason for Noah Q starting life again as an artist. Originally starting as just an artist who felt like they were going nowhere. They gave it up at some point. And then that's when Calliope Mori hit the scene. Literally putting out an EP on day one, an extended play of 4 songs, doing all the art doing the debut MV, the music video. Yeah, the music video herself, doing a lot of the assets herself, and just like being a whirlwind of creativity. And that's the exact same path I followed. Like, I saw a Texas Reaper go from somebody I never knew. I recognized the accent. I watched her go. And she kind of proved to me that grit, not backing down, being yourself as much as you can be, professionally, of course. It's all possible. And because VTubers don't have to show their face, there is a way for you to do it without being judged for what you are. Like I said with the suits. People judge a lot based on appearance. And like I've told you all before, I got a mean brow line that makes people look away instantly. I look like I belong in Yakuza if it took place in like Mexico in a couple of aspects, but I owe a lot to that lady. I owe a lot to the lady behind the pink woman. Eyebrows on fleek. See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Franky would be my Majima if the role was open for. What are we talking about? We're talking about birthday concert coming up tomorrow for 4/4, Calliope Mori's birthday. Just anecdoting about it. But I was talking about how somebody on Blue Sky basically made a webcomic that's as a big thank you for being an inspiration. I wish I could do that someday. Maybe I can do it someday, but I don't know. I got my own life to lead with you guys. But the Yakuza? Oh! Yeah, I was talking about how IRL... I look like a gang member whenever I lean my head forward. I've said this story before, but basically I scared a customer just by looking at my work. They say hello, and then I look up with only my eyes. And my eyes have dark rings around them because of lack of sleep. So I was like giving her the death stare by accident. I look mean. I am not mean. I sound mean. I am not mean. But what can you do? I'm stuck in this body. You are a teddy bear. Yeah. I'm a lot shorter than the actual bear of a man that Angel is. You sound mean. You put yourself to sleep. Well, okay. Over this microphone, yes. But when I'm like in person, I tend to have an intimidating aura, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking things, but I seem a mite threatening IRL. That's what it seems like to me. Alright, an hour and a half. Let me see. Is there anything else I can yap about that I have not been able to on stream? So real in the beginning. Oh yeah, that's right. Raven here actually did work with me at a department store that won't go named, but then I was like, oh, bro is chill. Yeah, see, okay, thank you. I needed to know I was actually like that, yeah. Franky, I don't know you IRL, but I can tell that you are goofy. Probably in every aspect. Yeah, the department store of hell. Mm-hmm. And it went to the shit, and every time I've heard something about it, it has gone even worse. Do you have a streamer voice? Michael says I have one. Do I have a streamer voice? I'll tell you this. I don't have a streamer voice. I have a public voice that I use whenever I like talk to people I don't know, or strangers, or people at the counter at my local grocery store. I have a public voice. But then whenever I talk to my family, my Texas accent goes fucking ham. Like whenever I'm talking to mom, it's like, whenever I'm talking to my mother, it's like, so how about them Brahmas? You think they're gonna be any good this year? And she just responds normally because she's a Hispanic mother. But whenever I talk to family, it is like, it is concernedly more hick. I don't know exactly why, but I think the Texas accent comes out very little on stream. It sneaks in every now and again. Obviously, I do it to play up moments, like whenever I'm voicing Mole Knight or being a hick in a story-based game. But I don't think it really comes out all that often. My Hispanic accent, now that I can't hide. The second you hear me say any word that begins with H, you know he's a Mexicano, dude. He's definitely Mexicano. That's one curse I will never be able to shake. I can definitely do an American accent. The Texas accent is so haunting sometimes. I know, dude. I know. It just sneaks out of you at the worst times. I think, like, for me, it sneaks out when I'm being relaxed, and sometimes when I can't think straight. Like, when the filter breaks is when I go full Texan. A couple of other things too, but you know, that is when any sense of civilization just is lost. Yeah. Me and Mirror have beef because it comes out heavy when I say it. Mirror. Oh no, I got it too! Mirror. Mirror. Mirror? That's a fine mirror you have there. Oh, God, it don't sound right, man. Mirror. Break that damn mirror and that'll be 10 years of bad luck here. Ugh, okay, thanks. Merle. There's a Merle. Average Texan behavior. Exactly. Ooh, I was thinking about that one time Dank donated, what, $100? Yes. So I've said this before, but I have a stutter that I grew up with. And the only time it comes out is when my mental just breaks down. How else are you supposed to pronounce mirror? Well, okay, when a Texan says that it's mirror, like it's one single pronunciation, typical pronunciation probably would be mirror. 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 That's some fine mirror you got there. Gee golly whiz, that mirror over there is only $100. Maybe I should get it for Jane back home. As opposed to, oh, hell. I think the baseball broke the mirror there. You roar him. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It comes and goes as it pleases. But I ain't shy about it. I don't use it because people actually have trouble understanding me. Like, you look back at my old VODs, like way back when. One, I was quiet, obviously. Two, Northerners. Like East, West Coast. West Coast, I imagine. East Coast, maybe Midwest. The Rust Belt, I can imagine. But past, like, I think they call it the Bible Belt, but I don't really like to use that term. I do not do that. I don't know, honestly. I ain't met many people from around parts, unbeknownst to me. Mirror. Probably, like... Probably Canadians, for that matter. I don't know. They seem to have a really clean speech pattern sometimes. But mirror. I listen to it now and it realize it does not sound like anything remotely English. But I don't use my Texas accent often because it really does slam shit. It really does slam shit together, like... What is it? It slams shit together, and then it extends some things unnecessarily. Like that. Unnecessarily. Gonna be thinking about the word mirror for hours now. Nah, I'm not caught in logic loops like that. I just accept it as it is. Then again, I grew up calling the living room the parlor, so I guess I can't judge. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a regional cool thing. Accents are weird. I think about it whenever I say it. You know what word I hate saying now? Masks. Because I've had to say it so many times during the pandemic, I hate that word because of that SKS sound. Real. Also hate that word, but for different reasons. Masks. It's such... It doesn't... Yeah, me neither. Sorry, B. Yeah, speech is fun. Learning the Cajun accent as best I could was also fun. There are certain words that trigger people. That's one of them that I won't say because my mouth is relatively close to the microphone. And I got some whistling teeth, baby, let me tell you. Yeesh. De-essing is an essential part of my EQ setup. Okay. The time is only an hour and 34 minutes. Wow. I feel like we've been yapping for an eternity. Maybe it's just like... Maybe it really is just like having a game in front of me makes me uninteresting, and then when I'm forced to talk about myself, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I actually have tomes to speak, don't I? It's weird. It's really weird. Oh, speaking of, I can whistle through my teeth. I like using that to make friends think their phones are going off. I forget what it is. The Messenger app. I know exactly what you're talking about, B. Bone Mario, tell us about yourself. Well, I'm dead. Thank you, music, for cutting out perfectly. Yeah, so is half the audience. It's a weird factor, isn't it? It's a weird thing that the dead attract the dead. Thank you, Joe. Yes, thank you. Thank you for holding that silence. Local Bone Mario found dead, thriving, more at 11. Dead and loving it, baby. Maybe one day I'll trade these bones for flesh, but that day ain't today. Man. Oh. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Not dead, I think. No, don't worry. I don't think your name implies that at all. Short lifespan maybe, but definitely not dead. Yeah, so during my internet testing era, we had some bad news in the agency biz. Another G word going down in Hololive. The moon. Don't concern anybody here. Me and Michael were not taking it well for that. Did not take it well. The day I see you as not a skeleton will be the day I dye my hair hot pink. Well, yeah, no, I can't see myself as a not skeleton either. I gotta take time for some more life stuff. I shall return. Goodbye, Bagman. Good luck. Godspeed, you magnificent devil. And good luck with whatever you gotta deal with. Yeah, I've been a zombie for karaoke streams, but that's more like a suit I get into, stitch up, and then perform in, and then discreetly destroy the evidence afterwards. It's still a skeleton in a suit. It's still a skeleton in there somewhere. But, yeah. We'll see, but I have no designs in the back pocket that involve flesh. Yeah, I don't like using that term either, but, you know, it is what it is. What would count as non-skeleton? You keep saying everyone has a skeleton in them. Well, the difference between a skeleton and a person is that one has a pulse and all their outsides are where they should be. All of their bits are where they should be and in operation. I'm dead. Zombie Ricky was also dead and using borrowed pieces. If I re-debuted Ricky as a skeleton, if I re-debuted as a zombie, that would work because that thing has innards where it's supposed to. If I re-debuted as a living human, that would also work. That would also meet the criteria. As it stands, undead ghosts don't have skeletons. Yeah, that's the myth for you. Yeah. Undead? Oh, ghosts. I guess a ghost would also fit the criteria. Asthma's a bitch. So I've heard. I've got cousins with asthma. They didn't get to be basketball stars, sure, but damn, are they intelligent. I think one of them was like a college graduate, maybe a bachelor holders, and the other one is like a tech bro. Not like a crypto bro, but like a tech support dude. So even speaking of somebody who has supposedly got a terrible cardio system by defect, it gives you more time to read. Not having to go out and participate in PE and all that. You take the good with the bad when it comes to the cardiovascular system. Yeah, reading, yeah! I have not read in a hot minute, actually. I've got bookcases to my right, a bookcase to my left, a book underneath my laundry bag, and I've got a pile of books right here, yeah. I wish I didn't have time to read. Yeah. Time to read has been scarce as of late for me. I do have like a cowboy's biography book I've been getting through, but back in the day, man. Now that we're talking about books. Okay. Full disclosure. I've had dark rings around my eyes for a long time. Like, ever since I was like a teenager. And it wasn't initially because I played games until 4 in the morning. That came later. No, my reasoning for staying up was books. I have the inability to put down a good book. I cannot... I number one, chew through books like I chew through food and still somehow retain the information. I could tell you, like, back in the day, I think one of my nieces was being born, and I was just casually sitting there in the hospital, blasting through Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I never read any books past that, but by the time she was born, I think I was about halfway through the book. I was there for like 3 hours or something too. But my claim to nerd fame when it comes to books. Hello, Slayer. You're a tad late, but nothing to worry about. We are just chatting, having a good time talking about books. We are talking about them things that kids call ancient. We had a lovely Nintendo Switch 2 discussion, and now we're talking about nerdy stuff that I read in the past. But hydrationeth will do. Ah, that's much better, I think. Yeah, but my claim to nerd fame back in the day was reading through fantasy books, mystery novels like the Quackenbush stuff, Miss Mallard, Geronimo Stilton, Sherlock Holmes, obviously, the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, anything. What it is and what do we have? Take a sip. Take a sip. I thought about, oh my god, that's right. I finally, would tea count as hydration? It's just water with a leaf in it. Sure. As long as it's going to keep your throat happy. And if it isn't, oh well. I love the Hardy Boys. Me too. Me too. I don't remember a lot about them. I remember one being stronger, one being smarter, I think. And then Nancy Drew, every once in a while, she would... For some reason, this memory about Nancy Drew pokes out to me the most, is that one time I remember her in the middle of a case thinking about it, and then suddenly she went to thoughts of being wrapped up in her boyfriend's arms. And it got really weirdly descriptive for a second, and then she realized, oh wait, I'm in traffic, I should probably go. That's just female novels for you, I guess, but... Or lady... Novels for girls, I guess. The Outsiders. Ooh. Didn't read a lot of them when I was a kid, but I do remember something I watched in childhood made me want the weeb I am today. Outsiders, Outsiders. I don't think I've heard about it, but I feel like I've seen it in a half-price books at some point. But I think my personal favorite series that I read... Goodness, there was so many. Encyclopedia Brown... Artemis Fowl, that's a good one. That was... I have the entire series of Artemis Fowl, I think. great classics like Frankenstein, Great Expectations, Swiss Family Robinson, Robinson Crusoe, obviously Harry Potter. I did read The Hobbit, I think, at some point. God, that was confusing as shit. I don't think I remember a damn thing about that. Lupin the Third, part of the reason I love spy novels, tropes, movies, and whatnot. Oh, Lupin the Third is gold. Lupin the Third is so cool. Such a funky feeling watching that. The Castle of Dr. Caligostro. Castle of Caligostro was my introduction to Lupin the Third. I think it was a lot of people's actually. But man, I've read a lot of books. One thing I will say though that I did that is uber nerdy and kind of a display of how lonely I was as a kid. I had the complete 3 books that you needed to play D&D 3.5 edition back in the day. I had the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the DM's Guide. Pilot episode of Part 1. Nice. And 3.5, yeah. 3 and 3.5 actually for the Player's Handbook. I don't think I had the DMG for and Monster Manual for 3.5. But back in the day, oh yeah. I didn't do a lot of D&D, but when I did, it was either winging it and making up bullshit on the fly, letting people just create characters, and I would like give them a scenario. That was a good time. I got a player to actually, cause the way I'll get back to the tangent when I get to it, but my highlight of my DMing career was that I went over to my cousins. We made some quick characters with a couple of friends they had over, and I DM'd a session where they were prisoners because somebody just walked into a house and killed somebody, and the other player characters tried to stop them, and they also got arrested. So they all got sent to a penal mission, a prisoner mission to a forest full of kobolds, and one of those warriors I described, this is my highlight of being a DM. I described one kill as, so you crit the kobold, and instead of just slamming your sword down and slaying him, you flatten your blade, uppercut, and send the kobold into the sky before he comes down on your swinging blade, cutting him in half. That is the coolest description I've ever given as a DM. Need to figure out how to DM. I have a universe of ideas that I can't execute. It's difficult. It's a very delicate balancing act of making... Damn, that's sick. I know. It was fun. It was a fun time. I tried to DM a bunch of other times, but... I have a very big problem. I have 2 very big problems when it comes to DMing. One, I don't like role-playing romance interest, and as everybody knows, your players try to sleep with every character they meet. That's just the nature of RP, I guess. And second, it's a delicate balancing act of designing encounters for your players and designing encounters that are difficult and not overloading it with combat encounters, which I did several times, sadly. So I'm not a perfect DM, but I know how to illustrate through flowery language and description. But I had a lot of fun ideas. One of my one of my fellow party members tried to seduce a were-rat. Yeah, and my party members ended up joining the bad guys. I went to one what was my tangent before this? Oh yeah, so let me get to that story in a second, but back in the day when I was a kid and I had nobody to play D&D with, all I would do is go through the player's handbook again and again and again and make a bunch of pre-made characters if anybody ever wanted to play D&D with me. And I kind of convinced some family members to do it with me every now and again. But I think I had like 20 character sheets filled out with different builds. Hence why I love character creators in games today. Whenever I play D&D, my group likes to do sessions that would break immersion. Like, we had a wizard named Gut the Shithead. Immersion breaking, yes. Lord Winslow and the Muppets, etc. That's one of the more chill things that has happened. Never mind the ridiculous stuff. Yeah, it is to be expected when you have a laid-back team. When you've got serious D&D players that are like full-on fantasy, that's when it gets good. You know, when they are actually focused in, ready to have a good time, not people who are like sitting at the table looking through their phone. And I get that D&D can be boring if you're not like the subject of the story. But, you know, there has to be a certain amount of respect given. And every time I tried to run a D&D session through Tabletop Simulator, other players kept like slingshotting their D20 across the board when I was trying to describe something. It was kind of disrespectful, but I think that may have been more on me than it was on them. We had a sorcerer huff pure mana and basically cooked themselves from the inside out. That's the other thing about D&D, is that it can be like, it's the same rating, it's the same experience as reading a adult novel. There is no limits to what you can put into words. Video games. Hey, look, it's the dude who's gonna lose $500 this year. Hi, Michael. The Nintendo Switch 2 talk has already passed, but now we're yapping about tabletop RPGs. I'll have to wait quite a while. Yeah, even if I had a job, I said before, even if I had a job, it'd take me 2 months. And maybe I would have enough to buy it on launch day. One of their fingers, yeah. Role-playing sessions like that are crazy. You can literally do anything. And that's what's terrifying as a DM, is that you can literally do anything. And case in point, here's my crazy story. Oh god, I hate to... Yeah, what? Eating your finger, weird. Can I roll to knock Ricky's head off? Do I have a spare D20 around here? I swear I had one on tap. No, it must have either... I think I might have put it back in my... Oh, no, wait. I have a bag full of dice. What's my AC? Well, seeing as I'm sitting at a desk, I have no armor except clothing. It's AC 10 minus 2. Maybe minus 3, considering my ugly dex. IRL dex stat. Slayer says, another D&D story. I was a warlock. We had to interrogate an NPC to get info out of them and to find the big bad enemy guy. Evil guy. Unfortunately for him, we get very creative with how we use our skill set. I have another story like that. So there is a community outreach that D&D did called D&D Encounters. And this will probably be the last story we have, and I'll be wrapping it up. D&D's fun. It makes a lot of cool stories for you to retell. Like the time I died to a warthog as a level 1 sorcerer, but we're not going to go into that. I had a D&D encounter session where I was playing a druid turtle And that's basically like a gigantic talking, walking turtle. And I was playing a dumb druid turtle. So I had high wisdom, low intelligence. And I don't think I played him right. I kind of played him clueless. But that wasn't the problem with the session. The problem with the session was that we were basically walking in to infiltrate a manor that has potential vampires, if I recall correctly. And half of the party wanted to befriend them, and the other half decided to use it as a distraction to go look for our target within that had been kidnapped by the vampires. Well, the turtle and the knight go on the stealth mission. Meanwhile, the rogue and the wizard walk in and have a nice spot of tea and crumpets with them. Guess what happens next? Clank, clank goes the knight. Clunk, clunk goes the heavy footsteps of the turtle. One of the vampires excuses themselves, goes into the kitchen, sucks our souls dry, and then walks back. Our party, the other half of the party, just left us to die. And then they proceeded to torture the prisoner. I won't get into those details, but some interesting old medieval torture techniques were brought up, and I was made very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. So yeah, that was the last day I played D&D. I don't know if I'd ever play it again. I think hot. No. Toothpick between the toenails. If only. If only. No, it was much, much worse. And I won't go into detail, but moving on. I don't know if I'd ever play Dungeons and Dragons again or a TTRPG again. I think, like, board games like Haunted House, Betrayal at the House on the Hill, that was a good time. Hold on, I think oh, okay, so it's a continuation. So, finishing up Slayer's story. To avoid getting put into an urn, he complied and told everything. Fires a very useful intimidation check. Know at least one of them that came up. If you know, you know. And if you do, you're scarred just like I am. But, I missed part of it. Creative with it. Maybe I did. Maybe YouTube hid it from me. Anyway, don't worry about it. I get the gist of it. You told him that he wouldn't be if he didn't comply. In a matter of seconds. That's sound logic to me. I don't know if I would DM one. I don't know if I would I think obviously I love being a player. I've had some bad experiences and some good experiences, but I think if I were to do a TTRPG again, I would probably do like something more narrative based rather than, I don't know, because there are 3 RPGs I really love looking at. One is D&D 3.5, obviously. 5th edition is also pretty good. It's basically 3.5 but with a lot more upgraded mechanics. I highly recommend it as a start. The other one is Call of Cthulhu. I watched a one-shot. Of that. And Call of Cthulhu, the way it's like geared towards you being as helpless as can be, I really love that. And the one I really want to try is Hunter the Vigil. Hunter the Vigil, I am so obsessed with it after Callie did a TTRPG of it. It is basically like, what if you lived in a modern world of horror of vampires, unbeknownst creatures. Like, what if every nightmare, like, what if every fairy tale you heard was true? And what if there was a secret society dedicated to fighting it? And that secret society was you. That's what Hunter the Vigil is, and I want so badly to play in it or run a session of it. Because it gets so dark so fast. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But I don't know. I think those are my three favorite TTRPGs, that's for sure. But I've yapped on long enough. Oh, man. It's nice being a nerd without having something to distract you, like a game. Oh, okay then. We have discussed what Ricky's been up to. We have discussed the Switch 2. We have discussed books, tabletop RPGs. We have done quite a bit of yapping today. It's nice to be on the mend in regards to being sick. The Shovel Knight Supercut. I think I'll go ahead and just cobble together a thumbnail myself. And it'll be representative. It won't be perfect, but I think it'll be representative enough. And it'll be a good time because I balanced all the audio. You don't have to adjust your volume for it, thankfully. And it's interesting to hear that I didn't really change tone-wise as I continued streaming. Like, that was... When I did Shovel Knight originally, I was fairly confident, albeit loud. I think I was working at the time, too. So, I sound relatively the same, surprisingly. The voices I did for the characters, not so much. But it's gonna be a fun little trip down memory lane. And it's in order of first encounter in the first playthrough, so it makes sense. So, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here because I got somewhere to be. Another stream to catch. But thank you all for joining me, having a nice chat about everything and anything. It's nice to be able to have a just chatting stream and have somebody to bounce off of. Franky and Phantom, I will get back to you on the whole Vermintide 2 thing in DMs. And yeah, it's just, aw. That's a nice compliment. Thank you. I'm glad I'm a decent host in that regard. But until next time, folks. You're okay, B. You got plenty of places to be. This is one of the options. I appreciate you stopping by. Until next time, everybody. Take care of yourself. If you're feeling sick, I hope you feel better like I am. Eventually. If anyone who watches the VOD, thank you for making it all the way to the end. And as always, memento vivere, memento mori, and enjoy writing your life story. Peace.